Hi, buddy. Welcome. Tweet that out. Welcome to another glorious TSP stream here. Now, I did finish recording the support tier list, but I just was not able to quite release it yet. So, hopefully I can have that uploaded and released by tomorrow morning. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at. I don't think there was a lot of movement there. I did move Blitzcrank up one from B to A. I think Zyra and Alistar, I don't know if I had them in A or not, but they're up a little bit. I think I moved Yumi down just a pinch. And Rel, came up a lot. I think that she's probably going to be pretty good on this patch. I think that's about it. Go ahead and put out a post for this as well here. Okay. So we're working with here. We had a pretty good day yesterday. Once I started going back over to, oops. No, don't ban that. Let's ban Nocturne. Once we went back over to Relic Shield, we started doing really well. %81 on Kaisa, that's legit. Hmm. %74% Zac as well. Okay, so they're duoed. Is this like a Smurfs or Boost or something? Yeah, just Rakan. Rakan's really good with Zac. Duo seems friendly, that's good. Oh, I need to, let me see how much space I have on my computer. I need to start recording some of these games so I can make like a playlist for people out there that might be wanting to watch Rakan games. We don't have a ton of space. Got a little bit. Let me see what I've already uploaded here. Maybe I can make some more space after this game. Might as well. Oh, I do need to release another Tarox campaign as well. So we've gone through episode number 4 that I've already released. So we can get rid of those. Okay, so it's Jinx bottom. Jinx is kind of annoying. Alright, we'll go with this. Hey, what's up, Light Falcon? Yeah, you always get punished just about for going cannons over grudge throwers. Yeah, grudge throwers are the way to be. But yeah, hopefully I can start recording some of that. Oh, I see the camera's tripping out. Hopefully I can start recording and releasing some of that over the next, I guess this weekend. I might bump that up ahead of the other one. The other person doesn't seem too mad. They haven't emailed me about it yet, so I will get to his. But since it's the new content, I think people could understand that. No, but that's not the way to think of it. It's 50% more damage output. Yes, it is the same way, like, to think about it. But they're hitting, like, 50% more, right? So if something has a 5% chance to hit, and then it goes to a 10% chance to hit, yes, it's only a 5% more chance to hit, but the actual damage output that it's going to have is going to be 100% more in that situation because the starting level was so low. 30 seconds until minions. Does that make sense? Living the dream. So yeah, like the number 5 is the number 5 no matter what, but 5 plus 5 is, you know, a 100% increase in the total amount of things. Right, versus 5 plus 50 is only a 10% increase in the number of units. That's why I was saying that I think you're referring to me saying that, like, melee attack, like, buffs are way stronger on entry-level infantry than they are on, like, elite infantry, because as a percentage, the amount of benefit that you're getting is much higher when you have a low starting base. Hey, what's up, Yeshua? So yeah, anything that benefits like zombies, skeletons, basic like Skaven slaves and stuff like that is strong. I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. That's okay. Yes, but it's a percentage. You're looking at the flat number. I'm talking about the percentage increase in combat effectiveness that gives you. It's like, yes, if you have $5 and I give you $5 more, it is a flat $5 that you're gaining, but you have 100% more wealth, right? Versus if you had $50 and I gave you $5, you would only accumulate 10% more wealth, even though it's the same $5 flat dollars. Hey, what's up, Yeshua? On the tier list I'm going to release tomorrow that I just talked about a second ago, I would say Lulu, Leona, and Rakan. With some obvious, a little bit of bias towards Rakan, but I still think he's really good. And because those units are also really cheap, that like compounds just how valuable they are in terms of gold efficiency on the battlefield. Like their baseline stats are really low and they're very cheap, so usually you can spam a bunch of those units early on, especially. Bard's kind of iffy into Rakan. If he uses his Q correctly, it can be sort of rough if he gets that stun on the person that I shield. So it's not my favorite matchup. It's not like completely terrible, but like, a standard thing that you do with most factions is you get the, especially if you have technologies, getting techs for the lower level stuff is usually pretty huge. Because a lot of your a lot of your lords are going to be using those low-level units, right? So, like, buffing up your dwarf warriors or your quarrelers, especially, is usually pretty massive. For the reasons I was just describing, but also because they're easily accessible. A lot of your lords are going to use them. They don't require a lot of buildings to build. Like, they're pretty low down the tech chain. So if you have to, you know, you can just build, like, a little, you know, tier 1 or tier 2 combat building and get them. So that adds some extra value to that as well. But yeah, that's kind of a standard playbook with a lot of lords, is you just go in the red tree early to get the extra leadership. And also to buff up your early units. Get 3 points in whatever your premier early units are. Usually. Now, sometimes, if you have a really, really strong unit, like the grudge throwers or whatever, then you might buff up, like, your artillery. I'm pretty sure the grudge thrower tech is the same as, like, that technology also buffs your quarrelers. So it's, like, really, really good with dwarfs, that you get your early tier stuff and your artillery in the same tree. Fuck, I missed the cannon. I gotta remember, like, Relic. I'm so used to having, Spell Thieves. I did goof that up, though. I was trying to trade back autos. I should have just backed up, though. It did get them off of, what's her name, though? Bard Flash, 11:30. For a first-time Lulu player, what's up, Yesha? I do have guides for Lulu. They're a bit older, but her gameplay has been the same for years. Just her stats are a little different. But I would recommend checking out one of my guides. You can check out another person's guides too if you want. I usually put quite a lot of depth into mine, but it just depends on the matchup. Like, you know, if you can get good poke in with your E plus Q, that's a good way to go. If you, the tier list I'm going to release tomorrow kind of goes through some of the things that are strong and weak about her. You know, so stay tuned for that. But, you know, EQ early on can be a good trading tool, but you have to be careful with that. If they have, like, a Leona or some other type of, you know, really hard engage. I'm just gonna have to wait, I guess, on my buy. Which kind of sucks, but I didn't want to lose the XP. Is it getting popular? I haven't really seen it. Hopefully it doesn't get too popular. They're gonna freeze it, man. Yeah, it bounced. We can't let it push. I know your boy's down here, but they're just gonna freeze right there. Maybe they go after her. They think I backed or something. Um, 20 defense, you have 37% chance to hit. I understand, dude, but you're not, like, you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm talking about how much stronger they are, what percentage increase in combat power they have. I understand that, like, 5% translates over into an extra 5% to hit. Like, we're just interpreting this in different ways, right? If someone has a 30% chance to hit with their current melee attack and melee defense combined, and then they go to a 40% chance off of those skills, I would call that an increase in power of 30% or 1/3, 33%. So they're going from 30 to 40 instead of just a 10% increase in power. It's a flat 10%, but if your amount was originally 30% chance to hit, then you're going to hit 1/3 more of the time than you would before you got that increase. So you could call it, yeah, it's just you're hitting 10% more, so it's 10% more damage. But you got to take into account how much is that according to their base amount. Like, that's what I'm looking at. We're looking at percentage increase off of the base. So I don't know what specifically like you're thinking of, but it's real. I mean, the bottom line is like plus stats on things that have really low bases are a huge percentage increase in output. Okay, sure. You win, lawyer. I got you win, counsel. I don't know. I don't want to argue it anymore. It's stronger. Significantly stronger on weak units. I have not seen Akshan in any of my games yet, no. Like, of course there's, you know, melee damage, melee attack, and then you've got armor that you have to take into account, and whether it's armor piercing or not armor piercing, or whether they're using magical attacks, and if you have magic resist, obviously there are a lot of other stats that play into that. Like, when I explain stuff in those early videos, I'm trying to make it really simple for people to understand. And a lot of the, like, those guides and explanation things. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna depend on a lot of different situations. I'm probably going to do the dwarfs next, yeah. I'll probably release it at the same time as the Beastmen. Once the Beastmen get, like, 5 episodes, 6 episodes deep, something like that, I'll probably start releasing, and I'll just release 2 at the same time. But no, I have not seen Akshan yet. This is my first game of the night, though. Yeah, the numbers, obviously, like, when I talk about that stuff early game, it's hypothetical and it's really oversimplified. It's just for the sake of illustrating the point that it's a lot better on those types of champs. Wow, what? They changed the way that Rift works? I didn't realize that. Rift won't charge. Wow, that's a huge nerf to Bard, actually. Rift won't charge a stasis tower. At least that's what it looked like. Wow, that's actually really intelligent of him to hit that fruit cone there. But yeah, like I said, I just went through just a bunch of examples, right, where it's not going to be literally what I just said, because it doesn't take into what I said doesn't take into account armor, melee damage, armor penetration, magic damage, physical resist, you know, all of these other factors. It's just to illustrate for new people, right, that are trying to learn the game, like that skill tree is really important to get, rather than getting extra like damage for Queek's auto attacks or something. That buffing up your lower level units like your clan rats is a really good investment. Like, that's the point. It's not to make it 100% accurate in a court of law, right? It's it's just to illustrate a point. So yeah, it's oversimplified. But I think the point, regardless, is a valid point. Just in the middle of a campaign, I didn't, you know, walk people through a 30-minute, you know, breakdown of clan rats versus a specific unit in terms of very specific numbers, you know. Okay, well, it was all an elaborate bait just to get Jinx to use her rocket. Who isn't until tomorrow? Oh, Akshan? I think he's out today, but I'm not 100%. I don't want to get baited into that. I think if I'm just, like, more patient and just pick better fights, that's really the key to improving my win rate right now. Don't get baited, don't overstay. Oh, Aurelia is turbo fed. Okay, we've got Kraken. Okay. Nice. Was he banned this game? Yeah, he's going to be banned a lot. People just don't want to see someone playing a new champ on their team. That's just kind of how it goes. Alright. We're going to go for, Putrefier.
I don't like being alone. Oh, and spiky space goods are
sweeper for a little bit. Should be alright to look at this. What the fuck? God, how? Zach chased some. Who did he chase? Bard? You really? He flashed and chased the Bard instead of the Irelia that I got with W. I guess I shouldn't have gone on the Irelia. I thought Bard was going to turn around and go for it. But he chased Bard instead. Alright, well. Wow. Okay, well, they screwed it up. So what? I don't know what. I guess I should have stayed back maybe with Kaisa and just peeled. Irelia was running away. You gonna get her?
Shut down. Stars are just sad, lonely, cold, floating space, evolving endlessly in a cycle they can't control. Anyone have chocolate? I'm craving chocolate.
Plus 100 armor piercing damage and 8. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Danger brings out my bats. Just kidding. All my sides are equal. Most good guys are just kidding themselves.
If 2 are bot, we really should be going bot. I might be walking on ward, so I gotta be a little careful here, but yeah. Irelia is gonna come down. Yeah, it might be a really strong weapon. A lot of like legendary stuff, like or stuff that you have to do quests for. Fuck. Oh my god, those chompers. Alright, well, I guess I overreached for that. Okay, we're just like inting. So our 2 fed people with shutdowns jump the walls. You sure, Sat? Just stall. Irelia is pressuring bottom, I guess. Shit. Holy shit, what is that champion? Oh my my god, dude. Wow. Oh, that dive put us in a really, really bad position. Getting a little solo queue-itis here.
An ally has been slain.
Yeah. Can we kill her? I guess we gotta kill her first. Okay, they got her. That's huge. Basically inted for a tier 1 tower. We get shutdown gold and dragon. Holy shit. Ugh. I think we could have just run. I don't know. Maybe Bard runs us down right there. Wow.
Whoa! I saw stars for a second. Dark. Evil.
Shit. Alright, well. I thought it was code red. Yeah.
Universe tends towards chaos. Sending them up. Used to be a square. Then I am darkness. Woohoo!
No Baron available. Hey, Set's gonna get that.
Safety is boring. Let's start a fight.
Flash queued on top of me. I guess she got to use her flash.
11,
I guess we're just waiting on the warding item. What's up, King of Nobody? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it does sound like a really strong legendary weapon, though, Black Falcon. Or just a blue weapon. Yeah, sometimes some of those weapons can give out some nice stuff. I feel like the individual damage, like, usually isn't that substantial on a lot of lords. Are they really going for this right now? Are they seriously? They're gonna get it, right? Or... They still got it. That's obnoxious. I guess we get this though. No, we need to make sure we get it. Lucian could show up and kill him or something. Maybe just the two of them. I don't know. %10 damage the whole army. I think is way better. Like, I really am not that high on, like, Lord dueling and just individual damage on Lords. It's okay, but, like, whole army stuff is almost always better. No, we're inting, boys. Oh, 10 armor or 10 flat armor or 10% damage? Probably 10% damage because you already have a lot of armor, presumably. It's just Diana. Got like 1 HP. Ugh. Alright, I've almost got ult, maybe. Lucian's almost up. Yeah. 10 flat damage, because it's similar to what I was saying earlier about the health or whatever. Like, when you already have a lot of armor, 10% flat damage is not going to be as good. So I feel like getting extra armor when you already have a lot is... It's okay, but it's not as good, I don't think, as the damage. It just depends, I guess, on... Like, what kind of damage are we talking about here? Hey, thanks for the sub, I appreciate it. Is it, like, all damage, period, or is it melee damage? Is it artillery damage? If it's melee damage, maybe there's an argument for armor, because most of your damage should probably be coming through your artillery and gyrocopters. If you have a whole army of like hammers or something, maybe, or the slayers or something, but that's usually not the biggest strength of dwarves. Like they're all right at that, but they're much better with, like, you know, missile damage in general. Okay, so everything. Yeah, I'd probably just go 10%, especially if it's artillery. I do 10% artillery over armor, because you already have a ton of armor, and really artillery damage, ammo, just anything that buffs artillery is what you want. So you get like huge returns on that because of the splash damage. Okay, well. I mean, they're gonna know we don't have Set. Set does have teleport, I guess. Whoa, 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 what's going on over here? Shit. This is bad. Like... I don't know why we're just randomly fighting in the middle of the map. They're gonna get another... Is she actually gonna go for this? Guess we just win if Zach dives this. Yeah. Well, armor is actually really good on Slayers because they have no... I mean, they have no armor, period. So... Hey, what's up, Matt? Thanks. We did have... We had a few good sequences in there. Okay. I was like, is it lagging? What's going on? Yeah, in general, I would just... Everything that buffs artilleries on almost every dwarf, just... Grudge bringers, grudge throwers, whatever. Just everything. Every tech, every skill, every item, every hero, just everything you can do to increase your artillery as dwarves. If it also increases gyros, that's a bonus. Usually gyros are in a separate sort of skills and techs or whatever, but... I think I described yesterday, usually like the best setup for dwarfs is have a lot of artillery, like 4 to 6 artillery pieces, and then like 6 gyrocopters, and just a bunch of like clog it up ground units. If you can get to that late game, that's the way to go. And then you just soften them up, aim for anything they have that's like missile artillery, like archers, or if they have artillery themselves or whatever. Take out their artillery with the gyros, take out their archers, just anything that can hit your gyros, and then just use the gyros, just go through and just bomb all their infantry, and you shoot them up with the artillery, and then you just gun them down, and that's pretty much it. The stuff that's like heavily armored, fast moving cavalry and large monsters can be a problem with that, because monsters are pretty resilient to most artillery. You'd need like cannons for that, and that's not like great. So yeah, that type of army, or anything that has like a really strong air force, like Undead or something. I don't remember if Undead's still the king of the skies, but they were for a long time, because they have pretty early flying melee units, and gyros don't usually do very well into that. I don't remember how fast gyros are. They might be able to run away, but that stuff's problematic. Bats are surprisingly really obnoxious against gyros, from what I remember. How do I feel about Zyra? I've got her in my tier 2. Here's my, like I said, I just didn't get to publish it, but I did shoot the video earlier today of my tier list. So this is kind of the snapshot of where I had everybody. But yeah, I think Zyra is pretty good. It's the same old story. Her items are really expensive. If once you get gyros, I wouldn't do quarrelers anymore unless they have. I mean, like, you might need some, but I would replace it with gyros because there's less congestion on your melee line, and like the big thing you're going for is just to harass them and flank them. I just think gyros are just way better most of the time. Like maybe 1 or 2 quarrelers if they have flyers you can take out, or so you can focus fire down if they have a large beast. You know, maybe some quarrelers. So maybe you don't have to get rid of all of them, but before you have gyros, you should probably have 6 or 7 quarrelers. And then once you have gyros, you can slowly kind of push the gyros out. Then have like 6 or 7 infantry line, melee infantry with your lords. But yeah, I think gyros are way better than quarrelers in a lot of situations because you can harass them the entire way and you can shoot them in the back with like flank shots, which gets around their shields, causes extra leadership penalties. I mean, that's basically your cavalry. You don't really have cavalry as dwarfs. I think quarrelers are better than thunders in most situations because they're high arcing shot. And that's what I was talking about this yesterday a lot, was stuff that does not arc, like most gunpowder things. I really don't like them because it's hard to shoot over your own units. And definitely if they're like hills or trees or on sieges specifically, a lot of your fights in many campaigns are going to be siege battles. And gunpowder units don't do anything in siege battles. Like, you can sort of shoot the guys on the rafters, but you can't do much else. So even though it's tempting because they do have very high armor piercing damage, I wouldn't do it. Maybe like if they have against like heavily armored large beasts or something, maybe have like 1 rifleman out front to kind of just soften up. You know, their big carnosaur or something like that. No, it doesn't arc. I mean, they changed it in the sense that I think they may have given them more damage. I don't remember if SFO did that or if the base game did that, but it still doesn't arc very much. They're still not going to be that great against chaos. Just missile units in general aren't that great against chaos, aside from artillery still really good. But if you really want that type of thing, if you want a gunpowder, you know, heavy armored thing, just get gyros with brimstone is what I would get. Although I don't like those like that much, I think those are better. They also block each other's shots too, because only the front line can really fire. It's just a mess. No, it's fine. I mean, they are good. Like, you know, there's an argument, like in multiplayer and stuff like that, like really competitive things, you might see like 1 or 2 of them. But I don't think it's something that you'd want to spam a lot. There are some gunpowder units. Like, I like the ones on horses that Empire has. I'm blanking on the name right now, but because they can flank and get around behind units and fire into the back of them, that's good. Because then you can, you know, position. Still terrible on sieges, but like open field is pretty good. But yeah, the dwarves have a really hard time repositioning to get around hills and trees and get flank shots. Mid Ezreal into Zed. Talking about Total War Warhammer. If you don't know what that is and you're interested in figuring out more, I do have a bunch of campaigns on the channel to check out. It's one of the main games I cover. Obviously, League is the the big one. I don't know. More people might actually watch Warhammer on my channel than League. It's interesting. I need to. I could go ahead and maybe publish one. Let me go ahead and just close that out. Wait, what? Oh. He was supposed to pick Ezreal for somebody else or something? I don't know. Yeah, it was originally Warhammer channel. That's why it's the strategy professor. I was going to play strategy games. I started off playing Warhammer, XCOM 2, and Civ 6. And then the XCOM and the Civ 6 just kind of fell off, but Warhammer was doing all right. And then I was still playing League of Legends at the time. And so I was just like, why not? People asked, people kept saying you should stream, you should stream. I didn't stream for like the first 3 or 4 months. I just did Warhammer videos. Yeah, there is. Very old. I didn't get through a full campaign of it just because I just played more Warhammer. Just kind of went all in on the Warhammer. But yeah. XCOM 2 was really fun. I wouldn't mind playing back through some XCOM 2. I haven't played any of the DLC or whatever. I really like the first one a lot better, but Long War, that was really, really hard. Extremely hard. From what I remember. I remember there was a guy, I forgot who he was, that did a XCOM Long War playthrough, like Iron Man. I forgot what they called it. But basically, you can't go back. There are no saves or whatever, and the enemy is just buff as shit. Yeah, the thing is, when you play it on that highest difficulty on Iron Man, you think the late game's boring? I think it's kind of interesting, but maybe not. Iron Man Impossible. Yeah, once you just completely blast people, I guess, once you're so strong, that it can make it frustrating early on because you can't really control your RNG as much. You just don't have a lot of abilities to handle it. But once you get those 100% shots and stuff like that, it's not a good idea. You're asking why don't I do another channel for WoW? I personally don't think it's a good idea to split your channels. Did you do it Iron Man on Long War? I think I may have done it with the base game. But Long War made it a lot harder. It was this mod. I may have done Iron Man Impossible on normal, but not Long War. I can't remember. But yeah, I know what you're saying, where your people are max level, and yeah, you just headshot everything. The snipers were super strong. Yeah, I think I did it on normal, just not Long War. I don't remember everything Long War did. This is a long time ago. This is almost 10 years ago at this point. But it just slowed it down and made it hard. I just made it fucking hard as hell. Everything took way, way, way longer. That's why they called it Long War, I guess. It's I don't even know, 5 times as long or something. It's the progression to get the skills, and you just had to go through way more battles, and there were just more aliens per map and all this stuff. But yeah, it could definitely be frustrating where if you just fuck up. One thing, I just lost my shit when I was trying to do it one time. I was probably 30 hours deep on it, on one of these Long War playthroughs, and I was actually doing pretty well. And then you had a percentage chance to miss with even your artillery shots, like a bazooka from my person, and if you missed, it would be off course by a certain amount, so you were not guaranteed to for explosives to go in certain places. Even grenades could miss by a certain amount. There was a stat that was steady or something, and so your stuff could actually go off course. I remember in the base game, explosives are pretty much guaranteed to hit, and that's how you got through a lot of the stuff early on. It's not even missing the shot with 90%. It was this bazooka that was off course a little bit and shot my own people. Literally blew up like my entire A-list squad. Just like pretty much one-shot him. Like 30 hours in, I was just like, oh, I was so pissed. Because it was like a 90% chance or something, and then it veered off just like a very small percentage and hit my own people and just blew everybody up. I was like, oh my god. Is it Pantheon bottom? It might be. Could be Morgue. Pantheon bottom is total trash. Oh no. Oh no. Is this guy good or not? There's no way this dude's played him a lot. Of course not. Has he played him at least once? No. We might be against Pantheon bot. I just don't know. It could be Morgue also. Maybe Irelia carries. Bird's pretty good. No. I guess we're going to find out. People want to see him. Usually a champion that complicated comes off with a pretty terrible win rate. I mean, you could have games on the PBE, right? But the vast, vast majority of players are not going to, like, spam this on the PBE unless you're, like, a professional player trying to learn it, you know, because your coach is telling you to. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some troll stuff that can happen with XCOM. I liked watching it. Oh, Beagle Rush, that was his name. He had a huge following, and then he just disappeared. He's like trying to do some gaming with his girlfriend or something and just stopped doing XCOM. I'm like, he was the XCOM guy from what I remember. Ed Draven. Okay, he goes aggro. I read dwarf. Think of him as a dwarf. He goes aggro all the time. Reading's hard sometimes, because I was just talking about dwarfs a lot with Black Falcon. Man, these Skaven keep underway yeeting my stuff. Yeah, Skaven are really annoying. You gotta, I think there are dwarven things where you have, like, you can increase your chance to intercept. That's one of the best things against Skaven, if you're having Skaven problems. Skavens actually can be pretty difficult to deal with for dwarves. If they ambush you, obviously that's just catastrophic a lot of times because your artillery's not going to be any good, and then they can summon up rats on your artillery, so you have to keep some infantry back to guard them. But even if they're guarding them, the rats will still just ignore your infantry and keep hitting the artillery and, like, tie them up. And just they have so much garbage they throw at you too, they don't even care if you blow up half of them. Skaven can be a tough cover, potentially. Now, if you siege them, you can really bust them up in a siege, but pointy ears equal bad people. I usually massacre dwarves when I play Skaven. I massacre dwarves when I play almost anything, but AI doesn't use them super well, and they, like I've said before, they just have some problems. But if you get the gyros and you have the artillery, that's when they become a real faction, because that's their cav, pretty much. Which that's like, you know, cavalry is usually one of the strongest things in the game. Open field, at least. Artillery is the other one that underestimated a lot. Oh. I gotta do that. Let me see what else here. Oh yeah, they're just backdooring you. Yeah, backdooring's annoying as hell. That's one nice thing about the Beastmen and just playing a horde faction. They can't really backdoor you because you carry all your stuff around with you. Trying to remember what else I was talking about. Oh, the other channel for WoW. You split your audience, it's usually really bad, in my opinion. Like, yes, it would make it where I could just do, like, just have one audience on the channel. That question is more classically asked to me, why don't I put my Total War on a different channel and my League on a different channel? Because those are, like, my two biggest games. Or do, like, a League channel, make this a League channel, and then do, like, an other games channel, right? That might be Total War and Burning Crusade and stuff like that. And Most people I've seen that try to split their channels like that, it just doesn't work out. The second channel, just nobody watches it hardly. And you're just diverting views away from your main channel. I think it's better just to have everything holistically on one channel so you get the street cred for all of your views in one place. Now, that would help out if you have something that people are just not going to watch a lot, possibly, depending on how much that plays into their, like, Google's current iteration. So, like I've said before, if, like, not a lot of people watch the Warhammer, for example, it could hurt the League viewership. I haven't really seen a lot of that so far. But I just don't know the answer to that because YouTube's not, like, upfront about that. Like, they don't give you the formula. And it's a lot more complicated. It's like, it'll recommend you based on how similar you are to stuff that other people watch, I think is the big thing they've been doing lately. I can't really engage with Morg there. So, okay, so Pantheon's top. He should get massacred by Irelia, I think. Okay, yeah, I mean, that is a good point, I guess. If it's like a different genre, because YouTube does ask you what your genre is of the channel. So if it's not gaming, yeah, if it's music and then gaming, that could actually be pretty impactful. But if it's all gaming, then I think it's all, like... Okay, nice. I still don't really have a clue what this guy does. I'm gonna have to look him up more, but that looked good. Okay. Oh, she trying to get a little roam in there. That's cute. Yeah, Irelia did die early. Yeah, Pantheon can be good early. I guess I was just thinking more the mid to late game. W is stealth. E is a grappling hook. Okay. Looked like he was jumping around some. Oh, nice. So he gets the shield bow stuff. I think it's pretty decent wave clear with that thing. I have no idea. Well, actually, I do know how we killed him. Ezreal E'd forward. About to say, how do we ever kill a Morg Ezreal lane? That's it. Ezreal E's forward. Okay, so Zen's pretty much on the... Or Viego, whatever that was. Yeah. It's the... I always talk about, don't be topside when Dragon's up. Unless you're pretty sure that it's secure. Shit. Okay, well, we got him to commit. Damn, he got double. Did Fiddle get? I thought Fiddle double crabbed. I thought he was gonna be really far ahead, but maybe not. Wait, where'd the cannon go? Or did I just zone out on that? Diego's covering mid. Did they back? It's weird how they're still ahead. Okay, they missed a lot though. They missed Cannon X. We should be ahead on XP, I think. What is his ult again?
Most good guys are just kidding themselves.
Fuck. Kate plus Lucian. What? Oh, okay. So it's like a long range. You tack. What does he mean you tack? I mean, I guess I could have waited on it, but like, they stepped up and they were out of position. It was because they had a counter gank, but I thought it looked like a pretty good moment. Like, I didn't know they had a counter gank and they may have stepped back off of that. Oh, it's just a short range burst with a lot of damage. Oh, did I just put that down? Or did he put that down? I think he put it down, right? Yeah, okay, so he just put it down randomly there. See if he E's forward, yeah. Shit. That's annoying. Oh, okay, that was Fiddlesticks. Click on it to find out. Damn it, that would have been multiple kills. Oh, we're just getting camped. So he doesn't do any magic damage to break her shield? Hmm. Gotta say, I'm not like super impressed so far.
An enemy has been slain.
My cloak is woven from the whispers of star fields, the
What is he pinging? He doesn't even have his ult. What's up? Really? Oh my god. This fucking Echo is just such an obnoxious champion. Okay. Wait, what does that mean? He's the villain or something? Oh no, he resurrected Fiddlesticks? Okay, alright, let's go. Nah, we can't. Fiddlesticks just wants to give it up. Fiddlesticks is like, hey, we got a chance to maybe make a play here on Dragon. Nah, I think I'll just go top. Not interested, bro. Okay. I'm kind of a jungle diff. I hope we can still win. I don't know why he's not, like, playing around the bot lane. It feels like that's where he definitely should be. Like always, play around your bot lane, you win. Oh my god, real? No, he's dead. One jungler plays around bot, one jungler plays around top. Tale of two games. Huh. It's weird. They have two dragons. Our ADC's down 40 CS. And 2 levels. And they're gonna get first tower. Well, maybe they don't get first tower. And top lane's still losing. Okay. There we go. That was good. No way! What the fuck? Dude, that is such horse shit. That is so garbage. That did like 100 damage. Dude. What is that? Did Fiddlesticks really just take like 3 tower shots to walk through and try to finish him? That was so horrible. So he's okay, so he messed it up. He should have charged it more. Probably no Iron Drakes in Final Army. Maybe. Maybe 1. I have to look at the numbers on it. Maybe the missile version. The turret can block it? Are you kidding? Terrain blocks it too? Wow. So you have to charge it up. They have forever to like do an ability to dodge it. Structures block it. Players block it. I guess we made her use her flash and her thing, but getting a kill would have been nice. That's not enough damage for that. I mean, it for those kind of restrictions, it should one-shot somebody. Yeah, we gotta leave. Fiddle's middle. Minions block it too. Oh my god. So it's like a Lucian ult that has to charge. And it's slightly longer range. I mean, it better be insane. Oh my gosh. Fiddle doesn't have ult. You got a wall, Anivia? Answer no, I guess. Now they get another dragon. Yeah, but I don't. How is it like Caitlyn? Caitlyn's goes through walls, and you don't have to charge. I mean, I guess you have to charge it, but I mean, I guess in the sense that other champions can block it. I don't know. I guess I can see it. Seems worse than either one of them.
An ally has been slain.
And Caitlyn's ult's also like 1,000,000 miles long. Anivia is up a lot of CS, so I guess that's good. Oh, it's 2,500 range? Okay. Maybe dude's just bad on it. I don't know. Okay.
An enemy has been slain. Ally has been slain.
damage. What the fuck is that? What? He doesn't even have Ninja Tabby. That was like a 2-second charge. I thought it was gonna like do half his health at least. What? I get it's an execute, man, but like 50 damage on a chain, like, even if they're at full health, like, that's like less than a Rakan auto attack. Okay, nice. Whoa, dude, what the hell? Can we get Baron? I guess probably not. Maybe get mid lane. Oh my god. Fuck. How did I misclick that twice? Okay, well I guess it was a trade. How did I didn't even get an assist? Did I misclick Morg twice? Maybe I clicked on minions while she was standing in minions. That was bad, whatever it was. I was trying to E back over to her, and then I guess I just misclicked it. Well, the fact that someone can block it and it does almost nothing is, like, to full health targets is rough. Like, at least Caitlyn, like, does some damage. Unless it's, like, pretty tanky. I don't know. You know, maybe we'll see it at some point where it's like, oh my god. I can't. She's gone.
An ally has been slain.
I should have gone Mercs against Morg. Dude, it's just, it's so astounding how there's still a 3-second. Okay, now Irelia is online. That's the OP Irelia I'm used to. Can we, or?
This place will look different when we're in charge, Riku. More dark matter? As far as the eye can see.
Surely with Irelia, we can do it really quickly. Whoa, dude, what the fuck? Why would you ult it? New champ has a 28% win rate. This guy's doing all right. I don't know enough about the champ to really understand if he's playing well or not. I know that ultimate looks real sad. But, I mean, he's 6-6. He's down 70 CS, but... I mean, that's not abysmal. It's fine. I mean, being down 70 CS is not fine, but being like 6-6 is okay. Hey, what's up? Too easy, too butch. Yeah, we cannot let them get this. Okay.
Living the dream. The dream of
Real? The fuck? Where does she have this warded? Is this warded? How did she know? Oh my god. I thought she was going over to block that thing on the edge. Okay, there we go. Oof, that was almost real rough. I guess she caught me on the corner of that one ward.
I only believe in myself.
Oh yeah, it looks like an int. Fiddle does not have his ult.
It was nothing. Really?
Oh lord. Boom! About knocked my light off the thing there. All right. Poor Viego, I don't feel sorry for that champ. Champ's OP, man. He done got goofed on. Just goofed all over him. Just goofed him up. Dude, that's, my wife got my wife gets mad if I tell her she done goofed on something. Even if it's just silly. She just hates that phrase. Oh, you ain't going nowhere, honey. Oh, actually, I guess he is. Okay, I'm sorry, sir. You are going somewhere. We just stopped doing damage, I guess. You're right, fuck that guy. Oh, it cracks me up. Oh, we got Baron. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna do Baron anyways. Like, we don't need anything cute. We've got good flank wards. Let's just get it. Come on, we've got position. She has TP. Okay, yeah, Anivia right here. Boom. Okay. See, sometimes you don't even have to, like, fully, like, do the Baron at the time, right? Especially with someone like Rakan. Like, you have really good engage, you know? He is a cool champion, though. I'm interested. I'll be interesting to hear what Sammy thinks about it. I don't know how much he cares about the stereotypes and stuff. I think he wasn't a fan of Samira or something. Just like how stereotypical dude is. What? I always forget his name. Akshan. I'm not even sure if he's supposed to be Middle Eastern though, right? Couldn't that be like Pakistani or Indian or something? I mean, he has vibes, you know, like Prince of Persia type of stuff. I don't know. I mean, I don't get mad about that kind of stuff. If someone made like Joe American, you know, hero or something, I'd probably think it was funny. He like runs around with shotguns, like chugging bud, eating hamburgers or something. I guess that's Gragas, right? Just combine like Gragas and Graves, and that's like Joe American. You know, stereotypical character. Oh, get flanked on, son. Get flanked on, son. What's up? Oh, we got him. Oh, he didn't know how to swing. Oh, the Akshan messed it up. Yeah, I can't tell. I don't know what that I mean, obviously it's supposed to be like a Prince of Persia. I don't know the music and stuff, but I could see him being like Indian or Pakistani or something too, potentially. Maybe Mongolian. I don't know. God, 16 feels bad. Like, we've been winning a lot. Oh, okay. Viego possessing Akshan didn't know the abilities. Okay, that was just... Right over my head. My wife and I are talking about baby names. Hey, I could do a vote on here and use that. I'm sure she would totally take that as a valid source of reasoning, depending on what you guys, how you respond. Okay, we got 30 people on here. When I first started, it took a little bit. We had like 1 or 2 people for the first 10 minutes, and I just closed it. I just quit looking at the number of concurrent viewers. 30's not bad for a late start, I guess. My standards are getting so low. Absolutely had a stroke last year if I went to 30 from like 500 to 30, but yeah, he does look pretty hard to play. That's what I was gonna say. Even like if he is good, most like new champions that have like 15 abilities basically all built into 4 buttons tend to not do that well. But anyways, what I was gonna ask is, we're kind of thinking about baby names. I don't know if I mentioned to you guys. I think I mentioned it before on the stream, but we're having another daughter in December, and we're thinking about names. She threw out the name Beatrice, which I thought was pretty cool. We want something that's like sort of unique, where there's not going to be a lot of people with that name, but it's not like super like off the wall, you know, like crazy spelling, like spellings that are so far out there. Not that there's anything wrong with those types of names, but hey, thanks, Antoine. But you know, just something that's like Rory, right? Like there's not that many people named Rory. There's some of that, especially girls named Rory. So she kind of likes the idea of unisex names as well. And the names we've been thinking of are, she liked Beatrice, and thinking of what it could be shortened to. And we had floated that idea before, and she said she could go by B or whatever. I like the name Beatrix with an X on the end, which is the older name. It used to go with an X back in the Middle Ages. And then they changed it to Tris in like the 1800s. I guess we'll just do Rakan again, whatever. I'm running really hot with him. I'm like 9-1 or something, I think. Since I switched back to Relic Shield and quit being bad, it turns out I win games. When you don't play bad, then you play good. Only the highest level strategies here at the Strategy Professor. Like just being more patient. And just more opportunistic instead of trying to force trades in lane a lot. I guess maybe just over the last couple of days we've been running hot. Yeah, it's like literally as soon as I stopped getting Frostfang, I just won like 6 in a row. How to climb, get good, play better than other people. Apparently, like, stop building Frostfang and start building Relic Shield. I thought I'd won more than that. I guess not. Going up 16 at a time feels pretty bad, though. It's like, yeah, I've been winning a hell of a lot. Wait, I'm still in Platinum 4. But anyways, I like Beatrix because then she could go by Trixie. I don't know what you guys think about Trixie. My wife said that sounds like a stripper name. And I said, why not? Why you gotta hate? If she's a strong, independent woman and she wants to do what she's gonna do, I mean, whatever. She has that option at her disposal now. But Anyways, I kind of like the name. There's just a lot you can do with Beatrix. You could still go by B if you wanted to. You could be Trixie. You could be Trick, Trix. Like, I think there's a lot of fun ways you could shorten that, depending on your style. Or you could just go by Beatrix if you wanted to. I think it sounds cool. She likes Beatrice. I like Beatrix. The other... What do you guys think about that? I could do a poll. The other one that is good too is Rowan. For a girl. I would like that if we're going to do that at least with a Y. Rowan with a Y instead of an A. Well, it could be an A. But that's another unisex like R name that's pretty rare on girls. It's there, but it's not like super. Then you'd have Rory and Rowan. What do you mean? What do we look? Oh, champions. Gwen, we got Gwen mid, which is kind of weird. I don't know. Honestly, didn't pay that much attention to it. We're against Trist Pike bottom. I'll have to ask people over several streams. I think that's kind of where we're at right now. We had thought about Evelyn. I like Evie for short. I think would be cool. But Evelyn apparently is super popular right now, so I don't know what TV show or something is popularizing Evelyn. But, oh, I fucked that up. I thought I had a charge. But Evelyn's like a top 10 name or something right now. I'm trying to think of other names. Damn it. Why did my relic shield not trigger that? Well, I've made him miss 2 CS, which is not great. I'm trying to think of what other names. But yeah, those are the kind of names we're looking at, like stuff that's not like super popular. I kind of like the name Eliot for a girl also. Mostly because my favorite author, 19th century, is George Eliot. But then that would get shortened to Ellie, and neither one of us really likes Ellie. No offense to anyone that has it, but we both. There was Anne Ellie was probably one of my 10 least favorite students that I had way back in the day. She's just really sassy. I don't like to talk ill of students because I love almost every student I've had. They're all just fantastic. But there are definitely a couple that are just like, just sassy and disrespectful, and I still give them, you know, I still treat them well and stuff like that, but in my mind, I'm just like, come on, man. But she was definitely one of them. Remember one time, like, someone asked a question, and so I was, like, going on the board explaining something again, and then she raised her hand a little bit, and she was just like, can you stop talking so we can concentrate while I'm writing? Or something like that. And I was like, well, Thomas, I don't remember who it was, but Thomas just asked a question, and I was explaining it more because people seemed confused about what I was asking them to do. But it's like, even saying that, you know, it's just like... Yeah, he should have run faster. He needed to flash or E the dash. Yeah. And then she asked me before, during class, are we gonna ever read any literature in here, or are we gonna read poetry? Or are we just gonna keep reading poetry? I said, well, many people would consider poetry to be literature. We're not gonna get him. It's unfortunate, but it was one of my first years teaching. It's like the second or third year.
Life is way more fun when you give up the rules.
And I was just trying not to assign them really long stuff so they could like find their own readings they wanted to do. But anyways, I don't know. But yeah, so anyways, Ellie was kind of out, which would probably be what Evelyn would be shortened to. Although I did like Evie, but it's just, it's too popular for our taste. Nothing but Goblin Spearmen. They're keeping it real. Well.
I am bad because I'm free, and I am free because I'm bad.
How do you possibly die? Imagine dying as Ezreal. Like, you can last hit. All you have to do is just last hit with your Q at the tower while we get Dragon. Every lane's kind of getting dumped on. Our little streak might come to an end here. We might be able to turn it around, though. It's not too late, but it's not looking good.
Quit messing around. World's gonna burn. Amazing by fire.
For him to die right there, I assume he used his E. Oh my god. Wow. He still had flash. He killed Ezreal twice without flash.
Thanks, Riku. Real cool. Most good guys appreciate themselves.
I thought he wouldn't have flash. Like, that was the only way I could possibly imagine Pyke killing him. Well, I guess that's another way. Okay, well, at least we traded this time.
Do the Star Guardians see anything? Their sparks are so darn sparkly.
Yeah, seems pretty good on Pyke.
Doing the right thing is boring.
Oh my gosh, can I please just get a last hit? Okay.
Shut down.
Your nerdiness brings out my
An ally has been slain.
My stacks are so low right now. Bro. Dude, you have to dodge something, man.
An ally has been slain.
I got a flash. How does that constantly get him? Like, Pyke is Eing before Ezreal. Like, the only way that Pyke should ever be able to get Ezreal is if you can bait the Ezreal to E first, and then for some reason you can E after him and get him. But, like, how does that work? I want to ask Ezreal if he's playing on, like, 500 ping or something. Because it's, like, a very obvious skill shot. Like, you know exactly where it's going to land. It draws it out for you. Exactly where it's going to land. And you have, like, a second. I don't think he's mentally given up. He said, finally, something good a second ago. I think he's just bad. Because it's been happening all game. Like, since the first kill. He's not eating forward. No, dude, that's the wrong way to think about it, Poseidon. It all evens out. But, like, we're facing someone in the exact same ELO bracket, right? With Tristana. Same ELO bracket. Way better performance. And our ADC wasn't even that good. Last game, he was okay. But, like, it's symmetrical.
Has been slain.
If your solo queue teammates are bad, you should be able to climb past them easily, you know what I mean? Like...
Has been slain.
I don't think we've been winning a lot because I've just all of a sudden had really good teammates. I think we've just been playing better. Like, some of it is we do have good teammates sometimes, but... You know, the argument that, like, solo queue teammates are bad, it's like, well, they're going to be bad on the enemy team then, too. It's drawing from the same pool of people, you know? So there's no way your teammates can hold you back. Over, like, a period of time, you know? Maybe in, like, occasionally. Like, this Ezreal's obviously having a lot of problems, but... Like, we might lose this game, but... I don't think... the... like, argument that there's no way to climb with your teammates is... because solo queue teammates are bad. Because, like... See, I know it can feel like that's, like, the frustration, right? But... does he have the Q? Because if your teammates are bad, then your opponents are going to be bad too, right? Which means you should be better, which means you should be able to climb. So... that's how I see it. That sucks I got blown up so fast from Tristana, but... yeah.
An ally has been slain.
There's definitely going to be some head scratchers, and I definitely do scratch my head sometimes, but, you know, if we're thinking about it with cool heads and just being very cerebral about it, then...
Your turret has been destroyed.
Teammate, what do you mean 40% of the time? Like, I'll tell you 100% of the time, if you drop the Challenger in silver or something, they're going to climb out of it. I mean, that's always my answer to these, like, any argument that says that, like, you can't climb because your team influences, like, so much of the game. It's just not true. If you put it into, like... so the question then, and then people might say, well, I'm not a Challenger. It's like, well... then it's not a question of, like, can it be done or your teammates, it's a question of skill. If you did play like a Challenger, then you would have a really high, like, win rate, you know what I mean? So they don't control it, it's just, you have to be good enough to win, despite teammates having problems, and you're able to do that because the enemy will also have problems over a long period of time. Like, this game's probably toast. Guys! Yeah, but the same could be said of the enemy team making dumb plays. Like, that's the thing that people don't understand. It's symmetrical. We always remember our teammates being bad, but oftentimes we'll just pass off the enemy team being bad. In games that we won, you know, because there are plenty of games that we might win that... I'm just dead. That it might feel like we shouldn't win. Right? Like, we might go 1-5 in a game and still win the game. And just be like, okay, next game, you know? Because, you know, someone on the enemy team might be 0-10. But then if our teammate goes 1-5 or something like that, where it's like, oh, it's terrible, they totally threw this game, right? Or you might win a game out of nowhere, like make this crazy comeback, and you might think, yeah, we played really well, and it's like, well, that's one side of it, but the other side of it is they made some terrible mistakes, macro, to let you back into the game. So I think a lot of times we just tend to discount the enemy a lot and just focus on our own team and whether it's good or bad. Like, our team played really well. It's like, well, maybe they did, but it could be the other team also just played horribly. Like, it's two sides of the same coin. It's hard to think, like, from that perspective. But that's how you have to think of it. It's just like, it's so easy to get fixated on our own experiences and say, oh, all these people are feeding on our team, and you know, all of this stuff. But if you go back and like really look at just op.gg, if you're playing all right, if you're like 50%-ish in your elo bracket, and you just go back and look, you'll probably find that in a lot of games the enemy had people feeding too. He's gonna like ult, isn't he? Yeah. He needed to hold his ult until after Echo had already... I was trying to force Echo to ult there. Yeah, I mean, that's right. And I mean, I fall into that trap sometimes too. But the truth is, like, if you're playing well in any role, if you're playing significantly better than everybody else, you're going to climb over time. You're not going to climb, you know, 100% of the time. But I think people have a lot more control than they think they do. It's just a question of skill. So once again, if you drop like a challenger or a pro player off in silver, they're going to get out of there with like a 95% win rate. So it can be done. It's not teammates. It's, can you play well enough to carry your team while they're making mistakes, right? Can you punish the enemy who's making mistakes? Like, that's what it's just a question of skill. That is part of the skill of solo queue, is winning with teammates who are consistently making mistakes. That's really any sport. That's not just League. League feels particularly toxic. Like, you think everyone on, like, Michael Jordan's Bulls and stuff like that, like, it was a good team, but there were definitely some potatoes on that team, right? Luke Longley, I mean, like, not, like, absolutely horrible players, but, like, Michael Jordan carried the shit out of a lot of those teams, right? Just like any, like, successful sports star has to do, right? Typically. I'm not going over that wall after her. But, you know, there's just going to be games where your teammates just aren't doing well. It's a little bit different because you know them, right? When it's like a professional team, so you're not playing with strangers, so maybe it doesn't feel as bad, but... Oh god, there's a ward there too. He's gonna hunt me down. Loser's Queue's not real. It's shame on LS for perpetuating that shit. It's obviously not real. No. Where I can't believe LS would say that, because that's such an ignorant statement. Like, no offense, but like, LS should know better. Some people don't know better, because there is a lot of propaganda out there. But there's no way that's true. First of all, how are we defining loser's queue? It's going to put people on loss streaks in games with other people on loss streaks. Is that what we're looking at? It is slower to climb this season. I agree with that structurally, and there's less people in Diamond 4 than there were last season. There's like 1% or something, or maybe 1.5%. It's not like massive. In some elo brackets, I think it was pretty big, though. Like, they tried to say, oh, well, you know, we got rid of the promotion series, and so that's why they lowered the winning average down from, like, 20 to 16. Yeah. You're literally just a 4-digit number. Now, when you very first make a new account, I think that they do have, like, they do try to put people, they have, like, a Smurf queue or something, where they try to put people up against tougher opponents. Against, like, new players. But when you get into ranked, Fiddlesticks just doesn't feel good to me. I know he's got a high win rate. That's not what loser's Q would be, because you don't have a low chance to win with him. Like, if you look at the average person in the vast majority of games that you play, they're going to be about 50%. They're going to be, like, between 48 and 52%. What's the point? It's not a good point, because it's not true. It's a lie. It's something that people make up, like, just any excuse to take away from their own personal responsibility for not climbing. Like, anytime you blame your teammates, like, yes, this game is basically impossible to win. Like, there's stuff that I could have done to play better, for sure, but this game is impossible, for the most part. Like, even Challenger players, if you started them off in Iron 4, they wouldn't have a 100% win rate getting to Challenger, right? But they'd have a way better win rate than me, or most other people. Because a lot of games are more winnable than they seem. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and end this. But if you just go back and look, the vast majority of people are going to have a 48 to 52% win rate. And if we're talking about loser's queue being people who lose, like, you would have people at the edge, right? If it constantly snowballed, if it put people who were losing with other people who were losing, and then if they lost, it continued to put them with people who had lost even more. If it snowballed like that, you would have people that would have like a 10% win rate. And it would be a regular occurrence if someone went on a small loss streak, like 3 to 5 games, for someone to drop from like silver or platinum all the way down to silver. Like, it doesn't snowball like that. There is an MMR to it, right? There's a hidden matchmaking that does change how much you win and how much you lose, but you're still just a 4-digit number at the end of the day. And all they do is they just put 4-digit numbers with other 4-digit numbers. That's it. It doesn't try to make a value judgment on, is this person bad or good? Are they a loser or not? They're just a number. That's it. It's just trying to average out 4-digit numbers on each side of the ledger and balance it the best that it can within a reasonable amount of time. So if it's saying, all right, this is a silver queue, you know, the system is saying we need to put people together within 2 minutes max. And so it's just going to go through and find all these 4-digit numbers, and it's going to say, okay, this person prefers this role, this person prefers this role, blah, blah, blah. So it looks at the roles a little bit, but ultimately it's going to balance mostly based on that 4-digit number. Which was it that tells you, like, what the average win rate? But another thing, like, a reason that it can feel like a loser's Q2 or where someone's really bad is if they're playing something that they don't usually play. Of course they care about their player base. That's money. They might do things that are, like, people could disagree with, but the premise that they, like, don't actually care, it depends on what you mean by care. Are they going to try to go out of their way to make every single person feel as good as possible? No. It kind of is illusory. I mean, there's just no way it's logically true, right? There can be people who are duo queued, so we don't know the exact MMR of these people, right? But, like, look at this right here. Platinum 3, Platinum 4. Every single player in this game is Platinum 3, Platinum 4. We got absolutely stomped. So people are just, like, off-rolled, not on their main champion. I don't know. I can't tell, you know, from this data. But that's within, like, you know, one bracket. Platinum 4, Platinum 3. There's one Gold 1 guy in here because he had a really high win rate, and there's a Platinum 2 guy probably because he has lost a decent chunk of games. But the vast majority of these games are between, like, Gold 1 and Platinum 3, and because I'm Platinum 4, that's fine. That's like one division. And if we go through and, like, look at these games, like, there's, for instance, like, we just had a bunch of losers on my team, right? Like, we got absolutely massacred. Look at that. Okay, Tower 1 said it. Tower 1's making shit up. It's strictly psychological. I mean, justify this to me. I'm literally on a 5-game win streak. And I just got paired with people where we got blown out. It was 5-25. Like, not even close. But shouldn't I be in winner's queue? I just won 5 in a row. How did I get blown out in this loser's queue? Right? How did I end up in a game with these guys? Just coming off of a 5-game win streak. Right? Like, this guy's won 60%. This Ezreal, who just fed like hell, had won 4 of his last 5 games. Just turbo fed. This person's 50%. But they had just lost 3 of their last 5 games. This Fiddlesticks, 50%. Just like I said, the vast majority of players are going to be between 48 and 50% overall. Just won 50%. This guy, 50%. But he just lost his last 4. So you had me in a game. I had just won my last 5. You had an Ezreal who was like 3-2. You had someone else who was like 2-3 or something like that. You have this guy who's like 0-4, but a 53% overall win rate. It's just all over the place as far as like win streaks go. So it's not putting people with other people who have recently lost. It's not putting people with other people who have a massively losing overall account win rate. It's not putting people with other people who have a certain rank, like a huge rank disparity. Right? Like, there's no correlation between loser's queue. It's just a 4-digit number. Like, wherever somebody is where they are. Everybody's, well, this guy's actually higher. This guy's 53%, but the vast majority of people are 48 to 52% with various levels of streaks, all within that same band of, like, Gold 1 to Platinum 3 within one division. You can't climb because part of the problem is your teammates. No. That's just so ignorant of him to say that, if he said it. Like, Tower 1 saying it, Tower 1 just says shit to get views, and he just believes stuff. And he is smart at the game to some extent, but, like, it doesn't make any sense. Riot does want you to have a 50% win rate, because that means that the game was fair and balanced. Like, if you have a 50% win rate on your account overall, it means it's matching you with similar opponents. It's bad balance. It's bad matchmaking if you have 60% overall on your account. That's why you move up until you run into opponents good enough to give you a 50% win rate. I mean, I just looked at it. Like, you're saying this person said this person said that, but I'm walking you through all of these logical steps why that's not the case. It doesn't make any logical sense for Riot to build a matchmaking model based on that. It didn't happen in the game that I just played. Where there were wild differences. Just nothing lines up logically with that, other than some people feel bad because they think their teammates are bad. Like, that's it. It's just an emotional thing. But the reason why people seem so good in some games and bad in other games a lot of times has nothing to do with the queue. A lot of times it's just that people are playing champions they don't know how to play, or they don't have a lot of experience on, or they don't know how to play when they're behind, or they are in a position they don't play, or they just have a bad game. Sometimes people just fuck up, or they're tired, or they're hungry, or whatever. Like, but you 100% can climb despite your teammates. There's an entire black market of this called boosting. Boosting would not be a thing if you could not climb despite having weaker teammates. There are people who do this all the time, every day, for lots of money. Well, I don't know how much money they make, but like, boosting would not be a thing. It would not be possible. These unranked to challenger, where people have 80% win rates would not be possible. Just think about it logically. These people win despite having teammates that are worse than they are. How do they do this? Because the enemy team also has players that are worse than they are, and they punish that. They exploit that. They say, okay, I'm playing in silver. I'm a challenger. I know that I can win every trade in lane. I know I can gank, these people a lot. Now, some roles might be better at doing that than others. I think jungle, for example, is a really good booster role. So, that's debatable. It doesn't. I mean, I'm glad you say that, I guess, but just because you say it doesn't make it true, man. It's just a really dangerous mentality. Well, we've got to dodge this, I think, right? Got top Sona. It's just people just try to evade responsibility. League is a hard game. It is very difficult because you are playing against other people, and it's one of the most serious games out there because there's a lot of esports. There's a lot of potential money. You can get college scholarships for it. You could go esports. You could be a content creator. So when the stakes are high, when there's a lot of stuff to be gained, people are going to take it very seriously. And there are a ton of resources too. That's one thing that it's easy to take for granted in League is there are so many resources. Okay, that's fine if you're saying it. Most of the world said the world was flat too before 1400. It's not. Like, just because a bunch of people are saying it doesn't make it true. Who cares if they're saying it? It doesn't make any logical sense. They're probably lower ranked than they were last season, and they're looking for excuses other than they need to get good. I mean, they're better than I am, but, like, that's it. There is some momentum behind the MMR system. If you win a lot, your MMR does go up, and you will start gaining more LP if you go really hot, especially on a new account. But what's the evidence, though? Where is the evidence? I'm sure you're cherry-picking certain people. I'm sure if you asked a lot of challengers about, is it literally 100% true there is a winner's queue and a loser's queue, there's not. Most of them are going to say it's not. It doesn't exist. Like, all you're saying is people said it. Like, what is the logical reason that Riot would design a system like that, and where is the evidence of that system actually happening? Where you see over a 20-game period someone who's losing, where every single other person on that team, like, who's in the matchmaking on their team, is also on a loss streak. I mean, there's just no way. Like, if we look at this, guys, right? Let's look at... Okay, so he's on a loss streak. Right? Let's look at... just random people here. Diana. Not a loss streak. Mixed. 50%. 50% out of the last 10 games. What about Fiora? 67%. She's not on a loss streak. She's actually on a win streak. Sort of. Mixed bag, really. Let's look at Zillion. Actually on a win streak. 70%. Let's look at Misfortune. 60%. Oh, that's... oh, LeBlanc's over here. Okay. Sorry, wrong side. 60%. So this person's 60%. His teammate. This dude who's on a 4-game loss streak. This guy, 60%. This guy. 50%. This guy. 70%. So even though he just lost 3 in a row, all of his teammates were positive on win percentage in their last few games. Let's look at this guy. Xin Zhao, 60%. Riven, 30%. Okay. Mixed bag, but she had not been winning a lot there. This person, 30%. Wait, is this on the right side or am I on the other side? This is on the right side, okay. 60%. There's no correlation. It's all over the place. This dude's on a loss streak, but whenever we look at all of his teammates throughout all of these games, some of them are on 60%, some of them are on 30%, a lot of them are on 50%. Like, there's just no way it's true, man. Just look at your match history. Look at anyone's match history. It's going to be all over the place. There's going to be no correlation. Some people are going to be on loss streaks. Some people are going to be on win streaks. The vast majority of people are going to be on 50%. I mean, I feel you. Like, it can be really frustrating to lose games, and it can feel like it's your teammates. But if you're playing well, if you win a lot... No, it's not because of my teammates. It's because I've been playing like shit this season. I've been getting caught out way more than I should. Getting baited by a lot of stuff. My vision control is a lot weaker. Like, I just haven't adjusted. I mean, it's nice of you to say that. I appreciate that. But the honest truth is I'm just not playing good. I was playing well in the first couple of months. Now, yes, some of that was that I did have an edge on the items. I understood which items were good before a lot of other people in solo queue. Night Harvester was extremely strong on Rakan. And I took advantage of that and won a lot of games and got up to like Platinum 1 or Platinum 2. So, I mean, some of that, whether someone wins or not, can be meta, right? Like, if your best champion is meta or not, like, that can affect your win rates on an individual level. So, for sure, meta changes, item changes, all that stuff can affect players and whether or not they're playing well. There can be other outside influences, right? Like, I was playing a lot of Burning Crusade, and I just was not studying the meta as much, wasn't looking at as many guides and things like that. I haven't been playing as many hours as I have in years past. So all of these are like outside factors. It's to why I'm like possibly like not playing as well. But it's not like Riot's Q. It's not the support role also can't climb because the number 1 and number 2 players in NA are support. So like, yeah, some of the support items feel worse. I think support itemization in general feels bad, but I can't really make an excuse because the top 2 players in solo queue are support. So I just need to play better. And I have been playing better the last couple of days. I went back to Relic Shield. I'm playing more conservatively. I'm not getting baited as much, but I just haven't been playing well. Yeah, I have bad teammates, sure. But, like, again, that's always going to be symmetrical. People on the enemy team are going to screw up a lot, too. It's just, can you punish them for screwing up? Can you cover for some of your own allies' mistakes by, like, warding better, shot calling better, choosing better engages if you play an engaged champion. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that Riot should get rid of MMR. And just do a 4-digit. I mean, they've said... there was a video that I could have watched about it, why MMR is important, and how that's different from... traditional ELO systems. The ELO is better for like judging 1v1 and an MMR system is better for like judging team games. But yeah, I don't know. They want to give people like momentum. And I think a big part of that is they want people that are on Smurfs or like boosters and stuff to get out of the low elo, so there's not as much smurfing. So they want to give people, especially on new accounts, well, no, like, so the reason they designed it initially, I believe, was it's a problem of motivation, because most people, and this is always a problem in League, and they were trying to help with this, but most people don't go anywhere, right? From season to season, most people are about 50%, and they stay in about their same elo range, right? Give or take a few divisions. So that can get frustrating for a lot of people, because the popularized belief in League is it's not fun unless you're climbing, right? Or you're not a good player unless you're climbing. You can't just play the game and enjoy the competition, enjoy it without climbing, right? That's what a lot of people think. But the truth is, a lot of people just don't climb, period. That's just how competitive MMR systems work, because you're competing against other players. As you're getting better, so are other players. So, like, what do you do about this? Well, what they decided to do was to add in the League system, the LP system, to add more drama, right? To make it to where there are more checkpoints, other than just, are you platinum, are you diamond, you know, are you gold? They wanted there to be more moments of excitement to keep people interested in the game. So that's where they came up with the idea of having these promotions and demotions. They're thinking, okay, you know, little Timmy, who's been Silver 3 for 4 years, now he'll get some excitement, maybe he'll keep playing, because he'll get promos for Silver 2 every now and then, right? And then even if you get demoted, a lot of people, even though feels bad, like, you want to get it back, right? You're like, oh shit, I lost it, I want to get it back, right? So it's a thing that keeps people going, because you just have smaller moments of interest, even though it's really not influencing the spread, right? The distribution curve of where people lie. It's not inflating elo at all, I don't think. But it helps people feel good about it. Or at least not necessarily feel good, but just feel, care, have excitement. So that's why they decided to get rid of the traditional 4 digits. Because 4 digits aren't as exciting as... Okay, we got the Ignite. Shit. He's gonna double kill that Ziggs, probably. He might even kill me. No. That was just a complete disaster. I took too much damage on the opener there. I thought Rek'Sai was coming faster. Oh, and we don't have a combat summoner either, because we have teleport Ziggs. I should have noticed that. But yeah, that's why they developed the LP system, was to create more excitement for people. It has had the side effect of being confusing about the MMR, like, people going up and down, but they have to have something like that, unless people want to demote instantly, right? Then there has to be something to say, okay, you've lost 5 games at 0 LP, these aren't free losses, because that would just inflate, everybody's rating. So there has to be some way you can still lose without getting demoted, and the way that you do that is having the LP so that your delta changes, right? So that when you start winning again, you're winning a lot less, which is effectively the same thing as losing. But you don't feel the demotion. You just feel that you're only gaining 12 instead of 16 for a hell of a lot of games. So it's all these little mind games to try to help people feel better about, like, not climbing and losing games and shit like that. That's really all it is. I don't know, man. Like, you're just stating the same thing over and over again. There's no logic behind it. I just think it will help improve your experience with League if you know, kind of cast that stuff out of your mind. Fuck, really? God damn it, Ziggs is such a fucking worthless champ, man. I know he does well in like pro or in some comps. I think he does well. I don't know. I don't know the exact stat on it, but I'm just getting too distracted. We're just arguing in circles, man. I've presented like 50 different like points of evidence as to why that's not the case. But I mean, if you want to believe it, you believe whatever you want to believe. But I'm just gonna be making the same points I made. Karma's going mid. There's no logic behind it. Like, the only logic is people are embarrassed because they're not as high elo as they believe they should be. They don't want to take personal responsibility. They're coming up with excuses. Like, that's it. That's the logic. Hey, what's up, Brand Lee? So, shame on LS for doing that. Like, there is no loser's queue and winner's queue. It's literally just a 4-digit number, man. That's it. With very minor adjustments for MMR for momentum in case you like lost games at 0 LP. Or in case it's a brand new account and they're trying to get Smurfs out of silver. Like, there are some instances where they do move people up for very specific reasons. But there's not a loser or winner's queue. I just disproved it. Spent like 10 minutes on stream looking at the op.gg of these different games. I don't think I'll be able to win this. So we disproved it anecdotally, and we disproved it logically on like 5 different reasons. Riot profitability, the ability for challengers to climb, and just everything else.
Doing the right thing was boring. I'm way more fun now.
Seems hard. I mean, I don't know. The very bottom line, like all of that stuff I said aside, the conversation could honestly stop at why the hell would Riot design a system like that? It would make it impossible to climb and just piss everybody off. Like, that's the #1 thing, is there's just no way that's a smart way to design a game, or even a dumb way to design a game. Like, no game designer is going to think of that. Hey, let's put all the people that are losing a lot of games, let's put them together. Like, let's snowball them all the way down to 0. Like, there's no mathematical model, like, where that seems like a good idea. If you're trying to create, like, fairly matched games. Alright, well, I guess we traded. So what are you arguing then? Riot didn't create it, the system's outdated. Are you arguing that, like, the AI has become self-aware and is writing its own code? Like, if Riot didn't create it, who did? We got Skynet here. I could see it being argued that the system itself could be optimized. Like, I agree. I don't like it. I wish they would just have the 4-digit numbers and stop placating people and just tell them what the 4-digit number is, so there wouldn't be a mystery about it, so you wouldn't hear these conspiracy theories about, like, loser's queue. Because I think that not seeing exactly how it works is just as frustrating or more so than staying in the same elo bracket for a long time. So I agree with that. I agree with you on that. I wish they'd just go back to a 4-digit number. But I'm never going to agree about a loser's queue. It's because there's like no logical foundation for it. Alright, well, we're somehow in this. Okay. Jeez. Okay, sure. If you want to go out on a win, yes. I'm not going to say that it's flawed. It's a design choice that people don't prefer. I think it's subjective. I don't think there is a problem with the system in the sense of like it's not balanced or creating fair games. I don't think that's true. I think it's strictly a subjective, people don't like it, myself included, and would like more visibility. That's what I think it is. I don't think it's bad at putting people, like, in fairly matched games. Over a long period of time, given the constraints it has to deal with. Right? Given the fact that it cannot give everyone their role. They've said they're not going to do that. It's not going to give everyone their role. Duo queue exists below Masters. It can't do anything about that in terms of matchmaking. It can't do anything about Smurfs. Because they're trying to figure out ways to detect Smurfs, but realistically, if someone wants to make a free account and play in Silver, they can do it for a while, you know? So there are problems, but a lot of the problems are not the system. They're people playing in the system. To some extent. I mean, it can be optimized, sure, but I don't think it's a big, like, there's no way it can create fairly matched games. I think that League, by its nature, is just very, very difficult to get 5 people versus 5 people who are all on their best champ playing an average game. There's just so many variables that the system can't control. Like, it can't force people not to play Akshan on the day he's released when they have no games with him, right? They tried that. They tried something like that. When they did ranking based on role, which I like that idea, right? You're ranked based on support or something like that. So then if you get off-rolled in a role you're not as good at, it'll put you with weaker people. Which is good, because you should be. You're weaker because you're not on your main role. But apparently people they said that a lot of people just didn't care when they were off-rolled and would troll games more. I'm not sure if that's true, but a lot of people just didn't like it. So Riot has tried to adjust and fix some of the things that have been problematic historically. But the player base just kind of ruins that. He ran away from my shield. They could do that. I mean, there are things they could do, but I don't think it's like straight up like... I don't think we can do it, man. So I agree it could be optimized, but I think it's fair right now. As fair as it could be. I think if you're good, you can climb. So regardless of however they could optimize it or whatever, I think that if you're playing better than other people over the course of hundreds of games, your rank will go up. It goes up a little slower this season because they got rid of the promo series and they knocked down your gains to like 16. So it is harder this season to climb than it was before, and that sucks, and I don't like that. But you drop a challenger in iron, they're getting out of iron. And if it's possible for them to do it, it's possible for you to do it. It's a question of skill, not a question of limitations within the system. It's just limitations within yourself. Wow, okay, I was about to say, they don't have that pinked. Okay, so Lee's like really fed.
I only believe in myself.
Shit. No ult, no nothing. They did ban new heroes the first week. No. In League, they don't. It might be in a different game. No, you can play it. Literally, we had a guy a couple of days ago, or a couple of games ago, play Akshan. Champion just came out today. They've thought about that, but they're just not doing that. They just want people to be able to play new champs. Their answer would just be, if you don't want someone on your team playing it, ban it. And that's what a lot of people do. So, as far as like new champs go, but we just don't have enough damage with Ziggs. I mean, I don't know. He does have a good KDA right now. No, I don't think they've ever done that. I don't think so. What they did do, what you might be thinking of, was you could not use... You used to be able to do free champion rotation for a week. You could play those in ranked. Then they changed it to where you have to own the champion. You have to buy the champion to play it in ranked. That might be what you're thinking of. Yeah, now that is a thing, kind of like what Black Falcon said. I believe there is a phenomenon where people go on lost streaks because of, you know, mental, basically. But I don't think that's teammates. I think that's individuals getting tilted. That is real. So there's a loser's queue in the sense that when someone loses, starts to go on a streak, it's more likely they're going to lose more games. Many people. That's real, if that's what you're talking about. But as far as, like, it putting you with worse teammates, I don't think that's real. I'm guilty of that, too. I like to think I have a pretty decent mental, but, you know, I've gone on lost streaks, too. Do I think Dynamic Q was good for the game? No. I think it was horrible, and that's why they got rid of it. That was where there were wild imbalances, because you could have, like, 3 people basically playing. It's basically like what the flex queue is. You could have 3 buddies playing together against people that, like, are just all individuals, right? You could even have, and this didn't happen a lot, but sometimes you would have 5, like, basically a 5 pre-made team versus all, like, just solo queue individuals.
An ally has been slain.
I'm trying to find some common ground where I can agree with you on some things, but I'm not going to agree with the premise that Riot is working against you, conspiracy style, or that people can't climb. Kamoy would love it, dude. If Kamoy was in here, Millionaire, I forgot what his new name is, but he would love to have a conversation with you about this. He would agree 100%. Because I think I had this like literal same argument with Kamoy for like 3 hours before, and other people, but a game wouldn't be well, I don't know if that's entirely true. I was gonna say a game wouldn't be addicting if it sucked, but like, I mean, Lee's in here.
Living the dream.
I'm waiting for the 50. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of veterans of the channel like Eric are going to remember that. I don't even remember the premise of that conversation. Yeah, someone was trying to argue with me for like 2 hours that there's no difference between bronze and like silver. Who has all these? Is it Yasuo? Okay, Rek'Sai has kills. I was like, something good must be happening somewhere on the map. If we're only down 3 kills, but It's certainly not on the bottom side of the map.
Stare in the mirror. It's
I guess it's not, like, absolutely abysmal. Everybody's already got Grievous. Okay. Zeke seems kind of bad. I guess we can get Staff of Flowing Water.
most good guys are just kidding themselves.
Babu. Yeah, I mean, people talk about my itemization and stuff. I don't mind if people disagree with me. I don't mean to come off as someone who gets mad. If people disagree, I don't. The only time when sometimes I can sound a little frustrated, I think, is if it's something that I think is, like, pretty self-evident, and I've tried to prove something, like, 5 times, and I don't know. But it's fine. I'm not really, like, mad about... Very rarely get mad about anything. Unless it's, like, personal attacks or something like that, which virtually never happens, especially by veterans. There's that one guy who, like, lost his shit 3 or 4 years ago because I didn't honor someone after a game. I gotta think that guy was, like, having just some mental health stuff going on there. Like, started insulting my, like, wife and daughter and stuff like that. Just out of nowhere. And I'm pretty sure he was like an adult. You know, it wasn't like a kid or something. From what I remember. I don't remember all the details surrounding it, but it was weird as hell. He'd been in the channel pretty regularly, and he just thought it was a punk move that I didn't honor somebody after a game, and I said I didn't feel like someone needed to be honored. I didn't think any of us really did well, and I don't know, he just lost it. But yeah, outside of that, it's pretty rare.
Safe is for nerds. I do danger. Sometimes we agents of darkness need a break.
Yeah, I mean, that is something conceptually that is difficult to understand, I think, for a lot of people. And this is, again, not just with League, but anything. You see it in basketball. Someone's like, oh, I would have made that shot, right? Or I would have been able to catch that pass, or whatever, right? They're like, I caught that pass in my backyard before.
I only believe in myself.
It's like the level of competition matters a lot. It's just hard to see it on the screen. Where I was arguing that, you know, even people who look really bad in Platinum would absolutely massacre someone in Silver, and they're just like, no, they wouldn't. I'm like, yeah, they would. Just like anyone in Masters is probably going to absolutely slaughter anyone in Platinum. But I don't want to get into that discussion again.
Doing the right thing was boring. I'm waiting for something.
You sure about that, bro? No, that's probably Baron.
World's gonna burn.
It's just so much burst in the game right now that, I don't know, it just feels like playing a burst. There's so much healing and shielding that it just feels like it's just really hard to be successful.
Chaos will reign like a firestorm of ash.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
We're gonna actually be able to get him? Yeah.
First tends towards chaos. I'm just helping it along.
Can we do it? He's dead. We need damage here, boys. Ziggs doesn't do anything. Damn it. Did you get him? Yasuo, please. This is getting spooky. Maybe they don't think we're doing it? I don't know. No, they did have it warded, I guess. Now let's just roll out. Okay, yeah, I'm not...
Self-control is for star nerds. I choose fun.
It's probably a good idea. Kayla says, how many games can you lose at 0 LP and Diamond? I think it's 2 divisions. I don't know. They changed it. That's why I'm saying it's a little sketchy about that. But I think it's not even necessarily in a row. Like, if you lose 3 games at 0 LP and then win 1 game and get above and then lose 3 more games and win a game, then lose 3 more, it eventually starts adding up. Basically, the closest they'll come to telling you is they will have a little thing that says Demotion Shield expiring, and once it gets into red, if you lose like 2 or 3 more, you're probably gone. But that's the best thing to do is if you click on your profile, you'll see a thing that starts off yellow that says Demotion Shield expiring, and then if you lose more and it gets to red, then that's when you gotta worry. But they don't tell you exact numbers because it kind of depends on which kinds of opponents you're losing to, how strong they are. Okay. We need Singed in here. Really? Oh, God. Oh, he didn't have Smite. Well, why are we doing it? Holy shit. I guess I should have pinged him back. You just can't assume that your jungler is going to have Smite. Yeah. 10 is probably a pretty close number, like 10 in a row at 0, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in a row. What if you're in winner's queue, then you never lose. All you have to do is win 3 games in bronze, and then you'll be challenger in a week. We don't have Yasuo. He's doing whatever he's doing, taking Gromp. Stealing the enemy jungle camps is like one of the worst things you can do macro-wise. Unless that's like you actually don't have anything else you can be doing. Because like, if you're in a side wave, fine, but push the wave, right? Like, you should only go back and do the camps if the waves are already in the towers and you can't safely push anymore. Then you can think about taking those camps. But before then, it's like the worst. Where the hell are they? Okay, they going for Yasuo? Yeah. Well, he's probably... Oh, well, maybe. Maybe. Wow, okay, that's pretty big. Not close enough with Ignite. I mean, I could Ignite, but I didn't think I had enough damage to finish her. Okay.
kill.
Woo. That was getting spooky.
Victory.
Yasuo did some big plays there. I got to give it to Yasuo. You will start to get better teammates, but you will face better enemies also. That's what going up in rank means. But the problem with the whole loser's queue thing is it's very one-sided. It just looks at your side, your teammates. Like, what happens? Imagine this insane scenario. Someone on your team is on a 5-game loss streak. Someone on the enemy team is on a 5-game loss streak. Who does Riot decide should win? Who's in the loser's queue? Who's going to be at a disadvantage? Or, what happens if there's someone on a 5-game win streak on your team and someone on a 5-game lose streak on your team? Which kind of opponents is it going to give you? Is it going to give you silver players? Or is it going to give you master players? If you're in gold. And one teammate's on a 5-game win streak and one teammate's on a 5-game lose streak. Like, what's going to happen? These are the things that keep me up at night. What time? It's 3:23. I guess we better call it a night. Just CLG things. God. That game was pretty rough. Did they do it again? I can't remember if that was just one game or multiple games where that happened to them. But we did pretty well. We won, I think we lost one and we won. This is on the Smurf account. The Smurf account. The alt account that's basically the same elo as the main account. But we've been doing pretty well. I think we'll go ahead and call it there. We got like, what, 4 or 5 games in there? So yeah, we've been doing pretty well. We won 5 here, went 5-1, and just 1 on the Smurf account. So we're like 6-1. So maybe we got our mojo back. I think that the Relic Shield is definitely a big help. And then just trying to play a little more patiently, not force stuff as much as possible. You know, still look for plays, but just take smarter, higher percentage plays. And just also building more meta stuff. Like just Shurelya's every time. Forget the mandate. Forget anything else. Just always Shurelya's. And then that Putrefier second is working really well. I would do that the vast majority of the time. I think the Zeke's build has kind of been on the way out. But yeah, Putrefier second. A lot of the time that frees up your ADC. The team that has another greater than 50% teammate will lose. Did you mean less than 50%? I don't know. I'm not gonna meme on that anymore. But so these have been the things I think that have helped me a lot. Relic Shield doesn't. I mean, it looks like my vision is just way better too. Look at this. Now, yes, when you're losing games, it is harder to get a better vision score, but just with like the Relic Shields and the Control Wards. I only had 3 in that game, but like 15, 8, 10, 11. I feel like I'm getting more wards. I'm controlling the map better. And then just Shurelya's, Ionians. And then getting this warding item third, I think is pretty good. So like shake up the build from time to time, but well, I was in winner's queue, right? Like we won 5 in a row, but then we got blown the hell out in the 6th game. It was like 4-25. But anyway, so I think just standardizing the build a little bit more and just playing better all around, just playing smarter, more reserved, not rushed as much. So hopefully if we can keep that up, we can get back into the groove of things here. But anyways, okay. God, it's still 46% overall on my main account. I think my alt account's like 50 or 51%, but this one we definitely have some repairing to do. But Hey, at this rate, we could repair it within a couple of weeks. I don't know. A lot of high-end players, pretty much every pro player that I see when Rakan's picked in pro goes Relic Shield. And a lot of the high-end players have been doing it too. It's just safer. It's faster vision. I mean, yeah, literally, if like every single time you can proc Relic or proc Spell Thieves, then yes, maybe it's a little faster, but you just don't have good poke to do it, and your cooldowns are so long. It just feels kind of tricky. As much as I was enjoying that, and the fact that you can harass more early, it's just trickier. But anyways, okay. Well, that's going to be it. We'll be back tomorrow around 9:30 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I should have the support tier list for you coming up tomorrow as well. I'll see. Maybe I can do the ADC tier list as well, and then we'll have some more Warhammer and a bunch of other good stuff. But anyways, that's going to be it. Have a good day, and we'll see everybody next time.